All right, we're back. Count just sent me Count Drums Volume 6, and these drums hit. I only used 2 loops so far. I haven't heard the rest of the kit, so this video I'm going to make a beat using Count drums. This is about to be so hard. So firstly, I'm in FL. I will show you the screen in a second. But firstly, I want to go through Count's just precision. Like he told me one time he spent 4 hours perfecting a groove on 1 loop. I was like, okay, this man is obsessed with the groove, and that's why I trust him with drum breaks. A lot of people don't know you could chop up drum breaks. So if you guys ever get stuck in beat making, try chopping up a drum break, not just using one shots. That's why your drums sound kind of stagnant and the same. Cut up a drum break because you're going to have textured layers to the drum break. Like this right here. There's kicks with hi-hats over it. So let's right click. We're going to open this up in Slice. Let me just show you what it sounds like compared to your typical drums. So we have it. Let's hit this. Well, let me switch screens because now we're getting technical. Hold up. All right, so all you have to do is hit this little button here. We'll slice it by the transients. Now you can come up with crazy. So that was a cool idea. I like that. So let's somewhere around 91 BPM. Let's record that. That was pretty hard. Okay, let's do that one. Let's record that. Oh, I didn't even mean to hit the snare. That was hard though. I don't know if I want to keep that snare. The snare's a little hard. Now, if I had a lower latency, that groove would be even tighter, but I'm recording with the video, so I have to have my latency up a little bit. And this is little truncated notes that grab the ear and pull us in. It's like the little gaps in between the notes. At the end, instead of that, I'm gonna pull it to a hi-hat. It's just, okay, let's find some chords. My ear hears. So. Funny enough, I'm playing A minor 7th. That's interesting. So we're really just breaking apart a chord. So. Let's record that in. Then we'll add some chords. Okay, so let's harmonize that one note. So even if that's all you can map out is one note, I have a whole system to show you the music theory behind mapping that out. I teach that in my Music Theory Essentials course, is how to reverse engineer chords. So for example, we're going to start with either major or minor ninth. Chances are it's going to be major. Or when it's a ninth chord, chances are it's going to be a minor ninth. And if it's major, chances are it's going to be a major 7th. So let's turn this down. That is way loud. That's dirty, right? So I knew that was going to be a ninth just because of my styles of more jazz-like. And then from here, minor ninths are good for transposing. Let's just transpose it and see if it sounds right. If not, we'll convert it to a major. So this sounded quote unquote wrong. So what we'll do is take the 3rd and the 7th, pull that up 1/2 step. Okay, that feels better. So this is just dropping the D minor 7th, or excuse me, D minor 9th to a D minor 7th. Now let's figure out this chord. Let's just assume it's a 9th. Probably won't be, but let's just see. Yeah, it sounds very Pharrell-ish, making that minor 9th. So what I'll do, instead of changing the chord, we'll just pull up the root note and start revoicing the chord. Hitting Control up. Sound like this. Let's pull the. Yeah, okay, so I like that sound. And I like that 9th. So you could do a lot with 9th chords. It's really easy to figure out the rest of your chord progression when you start with that 9th, because then you could just chisel it down to different types. Like if I take out the bottom note, this is a major 7th. So 9ths really give you all the options there. So let's just copy and paste to not waste time. So now let's add a lead. And all we need is a bass line and a lead. We got my Timbaland on. Let me plug in my, dang, I gotta plug in my thing in a second. My charger. All right, let's do this. Pretty simple, just using that fifth. I gotta plug in my thing before my computer blows up. Let's plug in the charger. So I'm gonna let this beat play. It might stop because that's the FL. Okay, there we go. FL is just like, you took away my MIDI controller. How dare you? I don't know why this thing is glitching so much. Goodness, y'all. So we're gonna have to either draw in the lead or play it by hand. Actually, we don't need to draw it. Let's right click. And because we use so many minors, let's do minor pentatonic and just pick the root note. I think it was, let me go back. The root note was D. So we started at D minor. So we're just gonna assume that we're in the D minor scale. That's not necessarily true, but let's go to D minor pentatonic. Okay, so now you can just kind of freestyle over top. And again, these are heavy plugins, so that's why it's like eating up my entire computer right now. But what I'll do is I'll record and then up the buffer length. So I'm just freestyling this using the minor pentatonic scale. I don't like that. That last note could be better. I want to like, I can't figure out the note. You know what we're missing on that is a pitch bend, and I can't pitch bend. So we're gonna have to go inside the settings here and try to manually do this. This may or may not come out the way I intend, so let's just hope for the best. So I wanted to go like, like that. It didn't really do what I wanted. It's kind of hard to do it this way. I wish FL would make this easier. This is just so unnecessarily difficult. So it's close, but not exactly what I wanted. I want to do like that. It's very, very hard to do it this way though. Now we have a beat that's very different. Let me get this to 0. So we can quantize to make it less. Now if we quantize, let me just show you guys what this would happen. What would happen if we quantize? Let's group all these. And let's start quantizing each layer. It's going to take away the life, but let's just see if it adds a little more clarity to these notes, just being quantized a little bit. This may or may not break it. So let's hear before and after. Here's before quantize. I'm rocking with the quantized groove a lot more for this one. It just, those truncated notes hit different with the quantized. So I like the quantized. So let's up the buffer length and just vibe to this for a second. And I'll mess with the beat a little bit with the mixing plugin. So my CPU is going nuts. I don't know why the CPU is so high recently. I'm going to downgrade FL because this CPU problem is getting annoying. But I just wanted to say thank you for watching. Let me switch. There we go. No saturation. So thank you for watching. But that is the process of starting with a drum loop and then building a beat around drums. It's a little bit easier, especially when you don't have all this latency that I have that you guys can't hear. But every time I hit a key, it's like a subtle delay and it throws off the way you make beats. Because in real life, when you hit a desk, you hear the sound immediately. There's no like, there's no delay in real life. So when you're hitting a table and making a beat, you're going to have a much tighter groove and a more human groove than if you're playing it with a delay on. That's just the nature of timing. But that is how I would chop up a drum break. Is load it up in Slice, hit that little auto slice button, chop it by, I think it's called dull auto slicing or medium auto slicing, and do the medium auto slicing button. And then you could either, if you don't have a MIDI controller, you can also right click that top icon with the typing keyboard and select Slice from that list and make sure your octave is C and 4 so that it actually works properly. So that is how I like to produce with drums first, get a rhythm going, and then add music stuff on top. It does make the final product a little more groovy because you started with the groove. So the groove will dominate most of the time. Whereas if you start with music, the groove isn't as heavy with music and the drums it's not as groovy. It's going to be more musical, less groovy. So that's the trade-off, the two balances of music approaches, in my opinion, starting with the melody first and the music or starting with the drums first. Let me know what you guys start with in the comments below. Peace. Oh, also, subscribe if you're new and go to busyworksbeats.com. You can join now for free. It's completely free. We have free courses. We have paid stuff that you can try for free. Just start at busyworksbeats.com. If I went too fast, just look for our beat making courses there. Peace.